Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we have a vintage Zebco 33, and this one is made in the USA in Brunswick, New Jersey. Has a year on it, 1982. Has a metal reel foot, and it says Zebco, made in USA, and there's a capital L right here. I'm not sure what that means. This one's in really good condition, except this decal band right here. It used to be yellowish orange, and it's pretty much faded now. So it doesn't affect anything. It's just, I guess, probably just sunlight, UV light probably did that. This reel has a dual handle. There's your push button. Drag is right here. Just this little screw right here. Right here is your bait click button. Just turn that on. Makes a lot of noise. First time I've really seen that on a spin cast reel. Let's turn that off. Right here is your anti-reverse lever. So right now it's on, and when you turn it off, here we go. Turn it off, you can backpedal it. So we'll turn that back on. So like I said, this reel is from around 82. It's from 82. And back then this was a pretty good reel. Probably I'm sure it still is. So back around this time, here's another one from the same period. Actually, these were the Century 100B. These were made from 63 to 79, I believe. So this one's probably a bit older, but pretty comparable. About same size, just different shape. This one can probably handle, say, 6 or 8 or 10, even 10 pound would probably be ideal for this. I have 4 on it right now. So I'm going to show you how to take this apart. It's pretty simple, but it's a lot different than the modern 33s. So what you need is a 10mm socket or wrench for the handle. Maybe even pliers would probably be alright. Small flathead screwdriver, and you might need a larger one for the cap, but I'm just going to use a coin. So the first thing you do with this one is loosen your covers. So I just got a quarter here. Quarter fits pretty good. Dollar coin fits pretty good. $2 coin fits perfect. This is really made for a coin, but you can use a screwdriver, it doesn't matter. Let's just loosen that a little bit. And the top cover, you just give it a little twist counterclockwise and it pulls right off. So that's what your front cover looks like. And here's your rotor. So to get this off, you just hold your handles and screw it, and this comes off. So you have a spring right here, and your pickup pin has a very, very small pickup pin. So let's look at it. There's no cuts in the pin or on the rotor from the line. So here's your spool. And to get your spool off, you just loosen this screw right here. You can move this plate up and down. You don't need to take it off. You just move it out of the way. So your spool just slides right off. And you have, I'm not sure if it's aluminum or just zinc alloy or something, but it's a nice metal spool. So that's the front off. Let's take the handle off next. So it's 10mm. Just loosen this lock nut here. Your handle comes straight off. And there's no washer or anything. And to get the back cover off, same as front, a little bit of a turn, counterclockwise. Here's your back cover. So here's a look at the inside. And this one doesn't have the traditional, like when you push the button, the rotor will go ahead and nip your line. This one has has it right here. So here's your line brake right here. It's this piece, and there's a rubber, like a rubber ring going around the inside of it. So to take this off, you just push in. You have two little, let me see here. So you just push this in. You unclip the front, top, and the bottom. This piece comes off. That's the way it goes back in. It has a little spring on it right here. And then your line cover comes off. Your line stopper, I mean. And then you can see the gears. So we just push out the main gear here. So here's your main gear. And there's a little brass washer. I think it's brass. Yeah, it is brass. Little brass washer right here. So here's your main gear. And to get your pinion gear out, first let's turn the end reverse off. So you have this little arm here for your bait clicker. So you want to just push that up out of the way, bend it up, and you got just enough room to slide your main gear out, like so. And this main gear is really small, but it's brass, so it's really nice quality. So just set that down. And all you have left here is your drag. And just basically just put tension on this bar that goes through here. That you see it's right there. That just swells out and puts pressure on the inside of your spool extra for your drag. So we don't need to take any of that apart. And this is riveted here and here, so you don't need to take any of this off. So when I got this reel would barely turn. This is just full of dry grease. This whole area here was just hardened, brown, sticky grease. Same thing up here. And it wasn't cleaned out in many years, I would guess. So the main thing with these reels, to get these reels smooth, is this hole right here where your one gear goes in and this one goes in. They got to be clean. The best way to clean them is WD-40 and then take a Q-tip and clean out those channels, because these shafts get when they're greased, over years they dry out and it's almost like glue. They stick on, and it's really hard to turn these reels. And some people take them apart and they just stick grease everywhere. Grease doesn't do anything up in this body. You need a little bit of grease on the teeth, and that's it. And on these shafts, you really should oil them. So we're just going to put it back together. So you just, before I put it, now I already have it greased and oiled, but put a few drops of oil on this shaft, push it in like that, and you take your handle and put it back on. So that just goes on like this. Again, 10 millimeter nut. Actually, it's not 10 because back when this was made, it was probably standard, but I just have metric sockets, so tighten that up. And you can take your main gear with the washer, push that back in place, make sure that falls down in place all the way in. And it doesn't seem to want to go down for some reason, so I'm going to try to take the washer off, put that in place first. There's a little cavity for the washer. I think the washer wasn't getting past the pinion gear, or the main gear. There we go. So that's in place now. So with that done, we could put this line brake back on, and that comes through the front here. There's two slots. Just push it in like that. You take this bar, Remember, we paid attention to which way it went in. And clip in one side, clip in the other side. So that's all complete. Back cover back on. And your spool. This doesn't have any drag washers, by the way. The whole drag system is just this bar putting tension on the spool, which is good. Reel like this, you don't need a lot of drag anyway. It's not a big reel. I was surprised how small this reel was. I figured it'd be bigger than that. I just push the spool back on. In this retaining ring, you just push that up over the lip. Take your screwdriver, put it on like that. Take your front cover. You can add a little bit of oil right here for this moving part on the spring here. You just screw that on. Hold your handle. Give it a little tighten. Take your front cover. Remember, 33 points up. There's a drain hole right here that goes to the bottom. Just line it up off center a bit. Loosen this a little bit. Twist it. See the logo's facing up, and here's your drain hole right here. And just snug it down. Everything's working everything's working right. This is my first Zebco 33, and the first one I got. This one is just over 40 years old now. So I like these. I like older reels a lot better than new ones. I found these have a lot better quality parts. You know, you got to take care of them. You got to clean them out once a year and re-grease and oil. But these will last a long time. These will last a lifetime if you take care of it. And I like the metal foot. And there isn't a lot of space right here for. If you had any older rods, you might have a little bit of trouble getting them on there. See how this Johnson one has a lot more space here. And yeah, I like the drag right here. I like that drag off to the side like that, or a wheel here, better than the star drag. So like I think after 84, they went to a plastic foot, and they changed drag. Put a drag knob up here, and you have drag washers here. So there's a lot of changes after this reel. I think this one was made like they were for a long time back before this. So what I like about this reel, I like the size. This is a small reel. I like reels any bigger than this. I usually use 4 or 6 pound line. This is ideal for that. I like the button. Handle's a little bit short, but it's okay. This bait clicker, I'll probably never use that. I like the drag. I just like the look of it. I think it's a nice looking reel. So back then, like I said, this one's a little bit older, but it's just comparable to what like a decent reel would be back 1980-ish, early 80s. This one went to a graphite body after a while, but these are probably two of the most iconic spin cast reels there are. And if I had to pick a favorite between these two, I don't know. I've always liked Johnson a little bit better. I'd probably pick the Johnson, but these are two really nice reels. These two reels, like I said, they're not top of the line or anything. These two have a very slow retrieve. I think it's 3 to 1 gear ratio, maybe a little bit lower than that. So but they're good reels. They're really good reels, and they'll last your lifetime if you take care of them. And they're not the best, but they're good. And this one is from early 80s too. This is a Daiwa Gold Cast 2 508 RL. This is still, in my opinion, the best reel ever made. This one has a crosswind spool and has a roller pin for your pickup pin, and it has a higher gear ratio. This one's 4.1 to 1. And that does make a lot of difference, a lot less turning of the handle to bring in your fish. And just find when you go back in time, it seems like the further back you go, the better the reels get. Nowadays, you know, everything's made in China and quality is not the best. And if you go back even older, like this is the oldest reel I have. This is from the early 60s. This is an Airix Eldorado Model 1, the same company that made the trains, Lionel trains. And you know, this is a crosswind spool as well. Pretty fast gear ratio. Nice pickup pin. So that's a good choice too, but these two are way more common. These are everywhere. Everybody had those. These are still available today. They're just graphite now instead of metal, but pretty much identical inside. So anyway, my first zebco. Took me a long time to get one, finally. But I do like it. I like the metal, especially like the metal foot. I think it looks a lot better than the plastic foot. Like I said, this is from '82. This is 40, almost 42 years old now. And from all the zebcos I've ever seen, this is my favorite cosmetically by far. And it's a shame that this band here is faded, because it looks really nice when it's orangey yellow color, when it looks nice, but it doesn't affect the reel at all. And this has brass gears, so it's super smooth. So anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.